Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Clenard, intuitive energy practitioner and coach, and this is the third video in our self-love series. Today's topic is the benefits of improved self-relationship and boosting your self-love. It is common for those who do not love themselves to feel like they don't deserve love or feel unworthy of love, unlovable in some way. These are all part of a subconscious pattern that's either a belief, a fear, or memory oriented, and they do affect our relationship with other people. So in the last video, we talked about how it is possible to love others even if you don't love yourself. So I want to reiterate that because it is absolutely possible to extend love to other people when you cannot extend it to yourself, or feel love for others when you cannot feel it for yourself. This is not to say that your self-relationship, your self-love does affect your relationships with other people. It doesn't prevent you from loving them, but it does often prevent us from receiving love from people who we are in relationship with. By loving yourself, you open yourself up to being able to receive love that other people are extending to you. It shifts your relationships from being one-sided or more to one side, because the dynamic is often you give love, your person receives it, your person gives you love, but you've got some barriers and blocks, and therefore you don't receive the love or all of the love that's being extended to you. Or if you do, you don't trust it. It doesn't feel safe, or you dismiss it as not being real. So this is how not loving yourself can manifest in your relationships, and it can be really disorienting. It can just really wreak havoc on your relationships. It can unintentionally hold you in patterns of relationship that are not supporting you. They are not nurturing you, and they are not helping you. They may even make you feel stuck or unsatisfied. So when you love yourself, it helps you receive love from others. That's the number one thing we do, is block ourselves from receiving love. And that, when we are receiving love, we can feel connections with other people more deeply. Sometimes when we don't love ourselves, we feel so separate from the world, even from our partners. We feel disconnected. We feel and are sometimes dissociated. Like we're there, but we're not really there. And when you love yourself, you can re-engage and plug in and perceive that connection. And instead of feeling depleted, like you give and they take, but you're not receiving anything in return, that can be part of the self-love dynamic that causes disruptions in our relationships. And I remember being in these patterns early on, especially in my 20s. But even into my 30s, and I've worked really hard to disrupt these patterns, and I can guide you through this process, and I hope to do that. That's what I hope this series does for you. And of course, if you need extra help, it's always available, but I really hope to help disrupt some of these patterns that limit you from having connected, close relationships and from feeling reciprocating flow of love, so that you don't feel like you're just giving and not receiving enough love to sustain you. Okay? So when self-love is lacking, there's usually a reason. We develop these beliefs and these patterns of self-relationship from our experiences, usually early childhood experience or trauma, or a series of emotional events that create subconscious beliefs, fears, conditioning, a story of what we deserve or how we should experience or be loved. And it can also stem from modeling, conditioning, or other outside influences like culture, family, religion, or other environmental factors. But what we take away from improving our self-love and self-relationship is that we will be better able and more open to receiving love from those who love us in return. Doesn't that sound nice? You deserve it. You deserve to receive love, not just give it, but receive it as well. And you did not consciously choose not to love yourself or for your self relationship that you have, where whatever state it's in right now, it took time and experience, sometimes painful experiences, to create the state that it's in. But you can rewrite the story, pattern the energy and the subconscious beliefs and the emotions that hold you in those patterns. You can create more of what you need, and that way you can be loved in reciprocation to the love you give. It can open up your heart. It can bust through those barriers and protective brick walls that we put up that keep us feeling separate or disconnected or like we're not enough. They keep reiterating our subconscious beliefs that we're not, that we don't deserve to be loved, and it leaves us feeling just so depleted and dissatisfied in our relationships sometimes. There are a number of benefits to yourself as well as to other aspects of your life or relationship with others that come from developing self-love. Like, you also develop self-trust and self-advocacy. You learn to be your best friend. And that's so simple, but it's not easy sometimes. But it can be done, and it takes practice. It helps you feel happier for no reason whatsoever, which is kind of cool. And I honestly didn't experience that until I was 30-something, when one day I went, oh my gosh, I'm feeling joy for no reason. And it was such a shock to my system, but it was amazing, okay? Self-love improves your self-awareness and overall conscious awareness. It helps you identify your feelings, needs, and boundaries, and then respond and tend to those. So that you can show up in your body and in the world, as well as for other people, more comfortably. It reduces behaviors like procrastination and avoidance or other limiting, unhealthy, old coping mechanisms, because you're better able to process and recover from stress or uncomfortable emotions. It will leave you feeling more satisfied with yourself and with life overall. When you nurture yourself and offer yourself or extend yourself self-love, you get to reconnect with you. Even if you feel like a stranger to yourself right now, self-love and practicing self-love can help you reconnect with your authentic self and fill yourself up from the inside. It also eliminates or shrinks the expectation gap. If you have ever contemplated lowering, raising, or eliminating your expectations of others, especially in relationships, improving self-love can shrink or close that gap of expectation that often results in feeling disappointed, dissatisfied, or depressed or despair in your relationships. It also boosts your sense of independence and reduces codependency in relationships. It helps you pour from a full cup. So when you prioritize yourself and nurture your self-love, it is selfless, not selfish, because it actually makes you better equipped to show up for those that you care about. It takes the pressure off of your partners to perform, to meet your expectations or needs, especially how are they going to if you don't even know what you need? It really just helps you put more love out into the world, which comes back tenfold And it helps you be able to receive that, to let it in, to let it really enter into your heart energy. And self-love helps you begin to consciously create more of what you want, because you have that clarity to know what you need, what you need more of and what you need less of. So when we love ourselves enough to prioritize our needs, we are communicating to our partners and to the world that with our actions, we're telling them what we need. We're telling them that we matter, and it makes it much easier for them to respond and reciprocate. And it also weeds out the people who do not truly value us, which is sometimes a little hard to swallow, but it's part of life to let go sometimes. So that's the gift that you can give yourself with self-love. It just takes time, practice, and commitment to the process. It's going to take a little time. It took you time to get into the state of relationship with yourself that you're in now. So it'll take a little time to change it up to... Sorry about the phone. It's for you. Just kidding. Anyway, I just want to tell you that you deserve the only love that you can really give yourself. And in the next video, we're going to talk about some of the challenges that you may experience while improving self-love and nurturing your self-relationship, and as well as what it takes to shift into self-love. I hope that you'll join me in the next video, and you can subscribe or follow me on Facebook so you don't miss any content. And you'll definitely want to join the 10-day self-love challenge event right on here on Facebook. You can find the link in the description to the video. It starts February 17th, 2020, and we're going to wrap up the series of self-love with that event, where I'm going to guide you through some actions and some self-evaluation so that you can really start shifting your relationship with yourself. Be sure to invite your loved ones and friends, because they all deserve some love too. And I will see you in the next video.